Hello. Today I am showing you an exercise that a very famous doctor, a great Belarusian, showed me.
This is below Valery Ivanovich. With this exercise at 19 years old before the Olympic Games, I had a problem with intervertebral hernias. I cured my hernias and they completely dissolved later because this exercise is not for the back, but specifically for the spinal column. Between the vertebrae in the back, small muscles are strengthened. These muscles lift. Vertebrae stop rubbing against each other, and the hernia gradually goes away. Strangely enough, the most accessible exercise turned out to be the most reliable healer for the back.
Very accessible. If you have back pain, you need to do it 3 or 4 times a day and your back will completely stop hurting. You will forget what back pain is. And for prevention, once a day, I, for example, do it when my back hurts.
In the morning, when I wake up and there's always a little stool by my bed, I put my legs on the stool, and that's how we treat the back, with little rolls.
So I'll talk about my injuries once more. I promised a long time ago. I haven't had many injuries in principle.
Mainly, at 1 years old, my first injuries were 2 hernias. One was 7 millimeters, the other was 9 millimeters. And really, at this point, they have disappeared. Here, without a trace, nothing is left, they dissolved. Yes, at 14 years old, I had a very serious knee problems. I healed them with this exercise that I show. I constantly work out my knees on the machine. So here, the knees should be strengthened with a reserve. And after the Olympics, I started having problems with my hip. I was constantly chasing records, always wanting to add more records. I chased, and I started having fascial tears. The fascia tore, small muscles, stabilizers as I call them, fuses, these small tissues, they tore. And eventually I reached the larger muscles, the quadriceps, the attachment points of the quadriceps started to tear gradually. In the end, I counted on the MRI 10 times, I think, or 9 or 10 times I had an injury to the quadriceps. This is the left thigh. Well, after that, I had an MRI, but no one noticed that my hip joint, this ball joint, there is a cartilage on the bone, and it apparently started to wear down by 1.5 millimeters or 1 millimeter, as they say. The hip bone began to get injured and wear down, and because of this, the thigh started to tear even more from the load.
Since 2014, I stopped training. I thought that was it. If the hip started to wear down, then it's irreversible. No? I was already thinking about getting on the waiting list for a joint replacement, though.
But here, St. Ilamaya, strangely enough, a 23-year-old athlete came to me and I somehow decided to change clothes and warm up and demonstrate the technique, as they say, from the first person.
So, and I realized, started warming up, started pushing him, and realized that my leg doesn't hurt at all. Apparently, in 3 years, I'm still young, I'm 23 years old, everything went away, everything disappeared, and that's why I decided to resume sports. So the exercise is accessible. Here I am already lying. How long?
4 minutes 30 seconds.
Here I am already lying for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Look, there are already drops of sweat on me. The first 2 minutes, it seems like the exercise is trivial, but after 5 minutes, it starts to make itself felt. The best exercise for the spine. Use it, cure any hernia, UI,